Hello everybody, this is Vincent from Affiliate Theme.io, and this video is about customizing the design of your web page. So in order to customize your design, you can choose the Customize button up here after you logged into your WordPress system. So we're going to click Customize. So as you can see, you have plenty of options here on the left side to customize the appearance of your page. I'm not going to go through them one by one, but just that you know, so every change that you make here on the left side will automatically be implemented to your website, and you can see it live how it changes here. So you're just going to see that in a second. I'm just going to go through all the options. I'm going to explain a few ones, and the others you're just going to see them how I'm doing it. So as you can see, all changes we make here in the sidebar immediately affect the appearance of our website here on the right side, and after clicking save, they're actually published online. So just take that into consideration. Every change you make here is immediately visible to every user of your website. So now let's make some changes that affect our example page here. So you can see that we have this orangish color here, and it doesn't really match the let's call it corporate identity of this website. So the red, the default red, doesn't really match with it. So we're going to change that. So first of all, we're going to typography, and here where the link color is defined, we're just going to change that for the first. So we're just going to add the proper color code here. So as you can see, this is the great thing about this editor, is now we defined the link color and the link hover color. And the link color we can see here with this link, and if we hover over it, it becomes a bit lighter, which is defined by this option. So in addition to that, we see that the navigation bar up here doesn't match the color scheme we defined. So in order to change that, we're going to navigation, we're going to bar, and here we can see that the background color again is defined, and here you can actually have like a color top and a color bottom. So I will just show you how this looks like. So if we have this color here, you can see that we have those two different colors that are inside the same navigation bar, but we want this to be one color, and we're just going to copy the darker orange here and also copy it to the bottom section, so we have one color only. And after this, we still have the background for a drop-down menu. So there is no drop-down menu yet. And we're going to keep the colors like this for now. We can check that later if we have a background menu, if maybe also an orange color would fit better here. So let's enter our color code in one other area. So we're going to others, and then we have this custom one color. So this specifies the color for like different areas. Here you can read that it's like paginations, tabs, toggles, and the filter slider. So this is more like a global option. So there are so many sub items on this website that have their own color scheme. So I just recommend to change it here so that you don't have always different colors on your website, but rather a coherent color scheme. So let's change this here and click Save and Publish. So now I'm just going to go through all the other options existing. I'm not going to explain them in detail, just you see how they work. So here basically, just the last thing to explain, you have the site title and the tagline. This is something you can also define in your backend, but sometimes it's just easier to do it here. So this should always be, first of all, a catchy site title and a catchy tagline, because this is like the default snippet in Google. So this should already be properly defined. We're going to do that later. So the top bar is basically the area up here. You can define again all the color schemes here. For example, let's just change the font color for a second, make it blue. So you see this is just the color up there. We're not going to do this. We're going to keep the gray color scheme. So, and you can also change the link color, etc. So a link is, for example, up here. You can see that the color is again there. So that's the top bar. Then you have the header. So this is basically this entire section here. So you can see the background color, which is in this area, is right now just white, and we want to keep that, but just that you see what this can look like. So this is basically if you change the color there. So we could also insert this color down here. Sorry, just this color code, go back here, and then we had it like this. Of course we don't want this, so we're just going to click default again and default, and we have it again as we had it in the previous version. So and again here you can change the font in case there is no logo displayed, the name of your blog, and the tagline appears. We don't have this right now, so this is irrelevant, but you can do that. So after header, we have the navigation. So this is this section basically. So first of all, you can define the bar. We've already been there before. We don't need the drop down yet because no drop down menu exists. So we just changed the color, the background color, but of course you can also change the link color. So for example, let's just make it yellow, which looks awful, but nevertheless you can do it. We're going back to default. Then you define the text shadow. Let's just make it red for now. So you can see that a little shadow here appears behind the font, but this is not really necessary either. And there are plenty of other options with the colors. You can just play around with it. And as long as you don't click Save and Publish, don't worry about it. You can just work on it. So drop down we don't need right now. Let's go to the sidebar. So sidebar is again more interesting because you can define the general settings of the sidebar here. So in order to see how the sidebar changes affect our website, I just clicked on the blog link here. So we see on the left side our sidebar. Let's just go to the general settings for now. So you can define again a background color, etc. But let's just go down here to the background color for the heading. So this is this section here. So if we wanted that to match to our color scheme, we would just do it like that. And here you go. Now also the sidebar here looks similar. But we don't want to have that for now. We're just going to keep the gray color scheme for now. And now we're moving on to the next sections. I'm just going to click through them. We have the footer again. So this section down here, you can change again the background color as with the other options. So for example, here we can again add our color code, and you see this affects the area here. Not yet the widgets we included here. This is in another section. So if you want this to match, you also have to insert the color code there. But we're just going to keep the white background. So as I said, with widgets here, you can again customize this entire area. And those options are also for the widget area again. So you can define how the elements inside here, for example, look. So you can see here you have a link color, which is reflected here, and you can customize that as well. So then we go to the breadcrumb section. We already talked about what breadcrumbs actually are and that you need the Yoast plugin for that. But here it's just again about the appearance. So you can see that here the breadcrumb section looks like that. We can also change this to the color we defined. So this is how it would look like. So, and of course you can define the text color, the link color, and the hover again. So this is pretty redundant stuff. Then we go to products. This is a more important section. So it is important, but simultaneously it's pretty self-explanatory. So anyway, we're going to go to one product so you can see how it looks like. So we're going to the details page of a product. So a single page, which those options customize. So bear in mind, it's really important like how the color scheme works on your product page, because this is like really important for the behavior of the customer. So be careful when changing this. So here you have, for example, the price color here. We can change it and it becomes black. Let's just go back. And here you also have like this strike through price. So sometimes if the price appears that was the original price of the product, and then you have a green price that is the current price of the product, you can define how this old price of the product looks like. And of course red is a good color here because this kind of color scheme is always used. The star options refer to this section here. So last but not least, we want to change two colors. So first of all, we see that in the comparison table, one product is highlighted, in that case the second product, and there is a color defined obviously for the highlighting. So we have this greenish color here, which doesn't really fit to our corporate color scheme. And at the same time, we still have the default orange for our buy button, and we want to change those two colors. So we're going into customize again, and we're going to start with the table. So we're going to tables, and then we have here this highlight section. So we have to change both color codes here. So I'm just going to copy the new color, which is a light blue. And as you can see right away, the color already changed. So next, let's change the color of the buy button. So we're going to typography, buy button, and first of all, we're going to change the background color, which will be the same as the highlighting color. So you see already we have now the proper color for the buy button. If we click it, the hover color is still orange. We don't want this. This looks really ugly. So we're going to insert here an even lighter blue. So this fits to our basic background color. So you can see now a lighter blue appears. So right now we manually customized our color scheme via the customize button up here. But there's also a smarter way to create a proper color scheme, because well, the colors have to match, the gradients have to be adjusted. So there's this color scheme generator on the website from Affiliate Theme.io, where you can actually create a color scheme. So first of all, there are some predefined color schemes. Don't worry, right now it's still in English. But it's pretty self-explanatory, and also down here you have English terms. So for example, you can choose blue, and you will automatically have all the gradients of the color, and also, for example, you can see that the hover colors are also defined with this color scheme. So the only thing you have to do is copy those color codes here into your customize area, so in the corresponding field. So those are just those 9. And in addition to that, you can click generate code, and then a code will be generated here, and you can just go here under appearance to import export. You can just copy the code, paste it here, click import settings, and then this CSS code is automatically added to your theme. So all options that you defined here in this click editor are automatically transferred to your system. So this is a much easier way to do it, and in addition to that, the colors really match, and you have a good color scheme on your entire website.